Hello YouTube, Elite Legionario here, bringing you what I thought I might do is do a campaign for this stainless steel 6.4 mod for Medieval 2 Total War. It's a brilliant mod, it's very in depth, and it's just really excellent, and I'm still really learning it myself. I thought I'd bring you a campaign. As you can see here, it says late era campaign. You can do an early era one, however I personally found the early era too difficult because basically you couldn't recruit anything decent, and I found the factions that I was facing were getting much better units far quicker, and they could reproduce them much quicker as well, and I was really struggling. So I'm not a great campaigner. I mean, I'm okay at it, like I can do campaign, but I'm not very good at them. So that's why I went to late, 'cause it's just a bit easier for me. But you know, if you guys like a real challenge, you should, and you know how to go about getting this mod. It's quite tricky. I found it quite tricky to install, to be honest. Probably one of the hardest mods I've had to install, but it could just be stuff that was going on my computer. It might not happen to you. But there's some great installation guides for it on YouTube, and of course you can go to Total War Center and you can look it up and all that if you want it. It's an excellent mod, well worth getting, believe you me. Probably, in my opinion, the best mod for Medieval 2 Total War. Some people say the Third Age Total War, but I don't really like all that kind of. I've never like been into that kind of mythical type thing. I know it's Lord of the Rings and stuff, and I've never looked at Lord of the Rings, and everyone's always shocked when I say that. But I mean, if I were into that, I'd be into it. I'm not like saying it against people who are into it. That's not what I'm saying. If they like it, it's fine. But it's just not my thing. If I play the Total War games, I like historical accuracy. So this mod is really good that way. That's why I like it. So anyway, here are some of the factions here, guys, and a big variety of factions. If we look at the map for a start, it is much bigger. You know, it is like the territories in each region are much more than in the base game, but we go all the way into Persia, right down to the Persian Gulf there, bottom of sort of Saudi Arabia, you know, even past the Caspian Sea, you know, and all that. It's a very big map, and there's a lot of new factions to work with. And in each region, like if you remember in the base Medieval 2, there's probably like, what is there like? Let me just think at the top of my head. England up here, or you know, the British Isles had what, like London. It had London, Nottingham, York, Edinburgh, and Inverness, wasn't it? And then it had Dublin. Now it's got like basically twice as much. It's got about twice as much territory. It's just, and everywhere's like it all over the entire game's map. So it is just a fantastic mod. It really is the depth of the game, you know, and it is much trickier too. It is actually a lot harder to play than the base Medieval 2. Which is why I'm only going to play medium. That's usually what I do with most campaigns anyway, because I said I'm not a very good campaigner. Well, I'm not bad at it, but it's not my strengths, like I said. So if we go over the factions here, the first one here is the Republic of Venice. So as you can see there, basically perhaps just a bit more land than the original. It's got some on mainland Italy there, and then of course it's got Venice and probably Zagreb and Ragu, so I'm sure there's some other ones though as well, because there's more territories expanded. It looks like it has Crete, and it'll have Rhodes. Then we have Sicily, which has got, so as you can see, there's I think there's actually at least two, might even be three territories on Sicily now. It's got those, and then it's got two in southern Italy, so it's got about 4 territories as opposed to 2 when it starts, so that'll be very handy. The Republic of excuse me guys, Genoa. Genoa, sorry about that guys. Obviously it starts in Genoa, and it's also got Corsica. And interestingly enough, it got some turf over here in the Crimea, obviously on the Black Sea there. I don't know anything about the history of the Republic of Genoa, so if you do know, that's interesting to note. And then you got, let's see, Denmark up here, as you can see, quite a bit more as well. Not only has it got the Jutland Peninsula, or Denmark itself, it's got presence in the Baltic region there. It's Sweden, I think it is. Sweden, yes. Sweden. Yeah, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Finland, I often get them muddled. Yeah, and then it's got territory right up here in the, you know, right over near Russia there. So, you know, everything's expanding, a lot more territories and stuff. Fatimid Caliphate, or basically Egypt, as you can see, very quite large. Quite a lot of territories there. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, good amount of territories there. It's a pretty strong faction to begin with. I played against it. It's pretty tough, and you know, pretty extensive amount of territory there. Scotland, as you can see, look at Scotland. 1, 2, 3. I think it's got 4. There you go. So there's 4 territories in Scotland as opposed to 2. Basically, everything doubles. So Scotland. I'm just showing you some of these guys. So here's a new faction, the Cuman Khanate. As you can see, quite a significant amount of territory there, large territories, and that's north of the Caspian Sea and northern section of the Caucasus, and basically it's right through sort of probably the Ural type mountain ranges in Russia there. Again, I don't really know a lot about these guys, but you can read about this. I won't read this out to you, but if you want to read that, you can just pause the video and just read over that. Of course, you've got the Golden Horde, or the Mongols. I sort of looked at some of their units. They've only got 1 territory, but they start with huge armies and a massive pool of treasure, or gold if you call it. What is gold? And basically, you've got to really decisively knock out your opponents around you, otherwise you go bankrupt fast. But it's pretty fun. And of course, your leader is Genghis Khan as well, so that's really fun. And you've got a lot of good generals when you start. You've got, I think it's like 4 generals. All of them are about 6 stars or more, with high dread like they were in the base game, so if you like that sort of thing. Then you got the Turks, or the Seljuk Sultanate, just the Turks. As you can see, again, they've got more territories as well. Quite a decent sized empire there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 9 to 10 territories there, so quite a good portion of lands to choose from there. The Kingdom of France, as you can see, it's in a much better state than start. I want to point out too, you know how I said I was in the late, or showed you I was in the late campaign? Well, the territories are different in the early one as well, so some of the territories are a bit different, but France is pretty decent there as well. It's much more unified and connected than it was in the original medieval Total War. The Holy Roman Empire is also very big. As you can see, quite a good amount of territories there, very central to Europe, obviously, like it was. And it'd be probably an interesting campaign to try. It was always my favourite faction on the original game, and it's very cool on this. But I haven't really used all the factions on this yet, so I'm not too sure. England, I have done a bit of an England campaign, and it's a lot of fun. Here you go. If you look at those territories, England's got 6 territories to begin with, and that's not including Wales and all of Ireland. So a lot more territories in small areas like this. So very handy to have. Then you got Portugal, and Portugal's got 3 territories now as opposed to 1, so it's really great. Probably gives them a lot more fighting power at the start there. Now we have Poland, which is obviously more than it started with. I think it only started with 2 in the original. That's got 6 now, so very useful. It's 3 times as much. The Byzantine Empire, or the Eastern Roman Empire if you want to call it, is, as you can see, actually in my opinion, it'd be a very fun campaign to play, but I don't think I'll be able to do it very well. I'd probably struggle with it, to be honest. I would, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it, of course, but I reckon it'd be a fun campaign, but a hard one. They're in serious trouble at this time. I mean, historically, the Byzantine Empire was really in trouble at this period, by the 12th century AD. It was seriously falling to bits, and you start and you don't even have Constantinople. It's lost to rebels, and you got the Turks bearing down on you, and Venice will have a crack, and it's a seriously tough campaign, I think, but it'd probably be a lot of fun. They've got some really cool units in their army though. It feels kind of almost like some of those old barbarian invasion, Eastern Roman Empire type units. It's actually really cool. We got the Moors. As you can see, their territory is huge, but it's mostly just because they've got big lands, but quite a lot of territories nonetheless. There's quite a lot of territory there though. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's quite a lot of territory there. Then we got the Republic of Novgorod, or the Russians, or there are other Russians on this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 8 territories there. Very, very interesting campaign as well, especially, do the whole Russian sweep in into Europe. And some of the others here, what do we got? We've got Lithuania, so you got 3 of those, so there's always a good war between them and the Teutonic Order, which is over here. We've got the Kingdom of Aragon. This is really cool because this adds more to the Iberian Peninsula, and Aragon were reasonably decent sort of force to be reckoned with in the medieval period. It's cool that they're there. So that would be very interesting to play them as well. And here are the other Russians, the Grand Duchy of Kiev. Again, I don't really know much history about that. I know bits, and I like the medieval period. Don't get me wrong, I really like it actually, and I'm going to actually start learning it more. It's same with like Napoleonic and Empire Total Warriors period and stuff. I need to learn more about it myself actually. But these guys would be probably an interesting campaign as well. I wish I knew more to tell you about them, but I just don't. But it would be quite fun. Norway. Who's Norway? 3 territories up there. So there's obviously Scandinavia is a bigger area in this mod, and they got nice 3 territories. So they'd probably aim to take on England, but you could go the other way as well. It depends. But England and Scotland probably would be the easiest way to go. Just depends. Do the old Viking trick and keep sailing over the sea. Right. Then we've got the Khwarezmian Empire. I don't really know a lot about these guys, other than that they were got pretty thrashed by the Mongols, from what I understand, being idiots. But it's quite a lot of territories, and it's obviously Persia, sort of Iran, Iraq today. Wars on the Caspian there. Obviously they're going to get in war with the Mongols at the start. They're like I said, that could be a pretty brutal fight actually. Be interesting. The Crusader States. You don't have Antioch and Jerusalem anymore. They're just one Crusader state now. To be honest, I did this campaign earlier. I liked it, but I found it very hard against the Egyptians. They were much more bigger and stronger than I was, and it was tough to fight against it. It would be quite fun though. They got some awesome units and stuff, of course. And they'll always be in favour of the Pope because they'll be crusading all the time, so it's an easy opportunity to stay in the Pope's favour if you're into that sort of thing. And of course the Teutonic Order was always my favourite expansion of the 4 kingdoms there. And they only got 2 territories there, and they'll be at war with Lithuania right off the bat there. But they're probably not on good terms with Poland either, but they'll probably be best friends with the Holy Roman Empire, of course, so that could be an interesting campaign. And of course there's Russia's, there's probably a lot of options for them. And again, the Foot Ritter, which is their best unit, I'm pretty sure it's the best infantry unit in this actual expansion as well. They're beastly and they look so awesome. Then we've got Hungary, which is looking like a pretty decent empire as well there. Obviously the vanguard, well, I guess the Byzantine Empire is the vanguard against Islam. They're encroaching on Catholic lands there, but I mean, unless you handle that first, then I imagine they'll get wiped out pretty quickly, so Hungary's going to be the one who has to bear the brunt of that. So that make that a pretty interesting campaign, probably good opportunity to get some good favour with the Pope too. So it's some good expansion options there. And last but not least is the Crown of Castile, or Castile, Castile, I'm not really sure how you say that. Well, basically it's just Spain. And they don't have they do have more territories than they originally had in the base medieval too. And that would be a fun campaign as well. Unfortunately though, for some reason the Conquistadors are not in this mod. Not that I've noticed anyway, which is kind of a shame because they were mighty and epic to use in the original. But nonetheless, this mod is really fantastic. It adds, like, a lot of the factions, like especially like the Catholic ones, can get really good muskets now, not just like a few. Like in the original, it was kind of like Spain, Portugal, Milan and Venice basically get good muskets. Now everyone can, not everyone, well pretty much all, like the Holy Roman Empire and England and France and I'm not sure about Poland, I can't remember, but a lot of them now have access to some seriously good musket type units, so that's quite cool. And I mean, because this is a late campaign, like it's like you don't start real build up or anything, it's just easier to build stuff up. Like when you play, if you lose your, or if you really need to look after elite units, because like you can only build one, and it's sort of 1 or 2 at a time, then it'll take like another 10 turns before you can build it again. And I mean, you can retrain it and stuff, but you seriously have to look after it because you can't easily replenish them, so it makes you have to really think about your campaigning and stuff. So basically guys, that's all the factions here, and Believe You Me is an awesome mod, and I'll do any of these factions you guys want me to try out. A lot of cool stuff there. Could be a lot of very cool campaigns there, and I don't know what ones you guys would prefer me to do, but I might try and do some campaigns. I'll do some for Rome too as well. I've got some requests for Parthia and stuff like that, and I actually have been mucking around with the Parthian campaign just on my own, just to get a feel for it before I go onto an online setup with it, and it's been really enjoyable. But I thought I'd bring you a stainless steel one. I'll probably bring you a Rome 2 one. I'll just coincide them together. In the meantime, just leave your faction choice in the comments page, and any one of these factions, and I will play it. So if you see somebody else type something, just put your, if they put something you like, just like that comment. Whatever faction gets the most votes, I'll do. So I hope you guys are interested in this, and if you're not, just say, and I'll just do something else. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon next time.